An Indiana lawmaker now reacting to the strikes today on that U.S. military base in Qatar.
Democratic Congressman André Carson told 13 News that he was headed into afternoon briefings about today's strikes. Well, Carson sits on the House Intelligence Committee and talked today to our Emily Longnecker.
In the hour right after Iran hit back against U.S. military stationed in Qatar. Indiana Congressman André Carson couldn't say if those strikes involved any of the 600 Indiana National Guard members stationed in the Middle East.
I'll know more at the briefing. I'll press to get answers.
The soldiers who deployed last September were set to come home in late summer or early fall. A spokesperson for the Indiana National Guard told 13 News that could now change. Carson, who sits on the House Intelligence Committee, says he was briefed about the U.S. strikes on Iran over the weekend, right before the media announced them.
You know, instead of the U.S. acting as a broker, a neutral broker, President Trump has made a decision that has caused a seismic shift that really undermines U.S. values. It puts our brave troops in the line of fire, and it jeopardizes the well-being and safety of civilians.
In posts over the weekend to True Social, President Trump applauded the U.S. operation to take out Iran's nuclear capabilities. He also talked about regime change in the country.
We are facing increased risks to our national security and a potential nuclear conflict and a destabilized region. As long as the region is destabilized and as long as there's animosity toward the United States, a regime change won't change much because the animosity is so high and the resentment is so great. Now, long term, sure, we know that Iran has been and shown itself to be a certified supporter of state-sponsored terrorism. That does not speak to the Iranian people. It speaks to its leadership.
Carson also says he's been advised by U.S. intelligence agencies that they're closely monitoring for threats here on U.S. soil.
I'm concerned about it. I'm concerned about state operators, sleeper cells, particularly lone wolves who self-radicalize and convince themselves that doing something to U.S. monuments, elected officials, everyday citizens will produce some kind of gain. But I warn them, it will not.
Emily Longnecker, 13 News.